Hi everybody, 14th of June, another day, my daily diaries of looking after my wife with Parkinson's and dementia. I'm out here on Cleveland's promenade, as you can probably tell. It's a bit windy, but at least it's not raining. It threatened to rain earlier, but the sea's coming in. So I'm not sure, we might get rain later on, but at the moment it's not bad. It's breezy, but still warm. This morning I got Angie, well from I'll start yesterday. Angie didn't get up at all yesterday. She was in bed all day. She wanted to get up at one point about just before 8 o'clock tablets I went in, so it'd be about, I don't know, 7:15ish, something like that. I said, do you want to get up? Are you going to get up, Angie? I didn't ask her. I said, are you getting up now, Angie? Yeah. I said, I will. Oh, all right. So I thought, that's all right. So I started getting her up and sort of sat her to the edge of the bed. She said, I feel dizzy. Now that's because of the low blood pressure. Because again, the Parkinson's thing, if you're dehydrated, you can get the low blood pressure. Which she's had tests, every time we go, we take readings. In fact, I've got a blood pressure monitor myself. Because once when she collapsed and she'd gone, it frightened the life out of me. She really had collapsed, and I phoned the 999. Anyway, the ambulance come and her blood pressure was more or less gone. It was next to nothing. Even the two paramedics were panicking. I'm going back a few months now. They rushed her in with the blue lights flashing, and anyway, they steadied it and got it up around. Anyway, so she ended up, she's all right. But speaking with the nurse, and they told me to take readings every day, which I did do for about 10 days, and it was all over the place. And every time they go to seeing a specialist or a PD nurse, anybody comes around, and it's always up and down. The mornings are always the worst when it's very low. That came up on when I were doing it, keeping a record. Obviously because she's been laid down all night and not drinking much, so that's where the dizziness came in yesterday. Because again, she's not really, when I give her the tablets, and I give her the water to take a medication, and I always make sure she has a bit more to drink as well. But it's just, and then with the heat as well yesterday and over the weekend, it just didn't help. So anyway, so she sat on the end of the bed. She said, I feel dizzy. So I gave her a drink of water. So I didn't stand her up, and she said, I want to go back in bed. So I got back in bed, and that was it. So 8 o'clock tablets, I gave her 8 o'clock, and she was well away. She was asleep. She was taking the tablets more or less while she was asleep. I went in and checked on her again a couple of times. Come 10 o'clock, I give her a nighttime ones then. And I just said, I'm not getting you up now. I just told her, I'm not getting you up now, Angie, it's too late, and I'll be coming to bed shortly. And I was in bed for 11. And off to sleep pretty quick, to be honest, myself. She was okay all night till about 4 o'clock. And I was waking again, restless, and colours were going off. But then she was freezing cold, because they had the fan going, because the room was still sweltering, stifling hot. But she was cold, she'd uncovered herself. So I had to cover her up. I turned the fan off. So and then I start getting all bothered. It's the devil in the deep blue sea, but at least I can just go and dive in cold shower if I have to do. And then so in theory she went to bed on Friday night. Got up at 6 o'clock Saturday, 6 o'clock tea time Saturday, went to bed at whatever time it was, 10:30ish, 11, whatever it was, and then didn't get up until this morning at 8 o'clock when I woke her up. She got up quickly though. I don't mean physically quick, I mean easily enough. She didn't take much persuading. It's just starting to rain now, I can feel the drizzle. Just going to get under this cover a bit. So she got up, and then where are we going? So day centre, Angie, come on. didn't say, I didn't say I didn't want to go and out like that. And then when we was going, I was on the way to the, where are you going? So I said, I'm going to the gym. How long will you be? So just a couple of hours. What time will you be picking up? So there was a few questions there, and the voice weren't bad. It was pretty audible, not like a normal volume, but I didn't have to put my ear up against a voice, a mouth. So I just said, oh, usual time. I said, it'll be after dinner. We have some dinner, and just sort of played it low a bit. And she didn't say nothing. She got the calendar wrong again, completely wrong. Didn't know Baby Harley. Said, I don't know that one. I don't know where. She's been getting him mixed up. She got Ainsley wrong, Harlow wrong, Self right. She said, that's me. And then Baby Harley, she said, I don't know. I don't know on that one. So she had a toast, give her some toast, and only had half a cup of tea. But I know she'll get a cup of tea and a few brews and some more toast at the day centre. And then she'll have a big cup lunch, which she should be having now. Well, yeah, a 1:45, I think she's on Second City. Yeah, so I don't know, it's just, and then I'm out here and I went to the gym. Thoroughly enjoyed that at the gym this morning, really enjoyed it, really got stuck in. Did some extra actually. Did me 3-mile walk on the treadmill after I'd finished it all, and yeah, I feel good. I've had my cappuccino here at the cafe. I'm just going to finish my walk off and then go into Cleveland's and just get a sandwich or something, get a bite to eat and one at Cafes, I think. Then go home. If I go home, I'm not sure, I might stay out, just chill and then pick her up at 3:15ish. Go over to her sister's again for our usual brew and a biscuit. Yeah. I've just been in the disabled toilets up here on the promenade. It's by there's a cafe right at the top end, and there's a row of toilets. The cafe itself doesn't have its own toilet, so this toilets, I think there's 3 where you have to pay, and then there's a disabled toilet. Now the cafe have a disabled key, or a key for a disabled toilet, shall I say, not a disabled key. A key for disabled toilets, which I don't know whether I agree with that or not. It's for customers. I'm not sure because sometimes when you go in, they're appalling. Just been in now and they're the cleanest I've ever seen them. They're actually nice to go in. I mean, I've gone in. I know I'm not disabled, but I've used Angie's disabled blue key. I keep calling it disabled key, don't I? So yeah, they was very, very clean this morning, but sometimes they're horrendous. And I think that's because it's like general public and not just disabled. Because normally when you go in a disabled toilet, they're clean. They're clean as can be, because what you've got to think is people go in there and they've all sorts of disabilities. Some people can walk in, some people have to go in a wheelchair, some people have to be pushed in, some people have to go in with the carer. So we sort of subconsciously, we know, well, it's got to be kept clean, especially the floor. Because some people need changing and stuff like that, and you have you need to taking your clothes down and off, and sometimes you go in this one especially and the floor's wet through and there's bits of soggy toilet paper all over the place, and it's not nice. Just having a bit of a moan. But so if you're watching this and you're not disabled and you ever use a disabled toilet for whatever reason, just bear it in mind, please. Just leave it as clean as you can, well, as clean as it should be. It should be. It's not very nice. It's hard enough sometimes in disabled toilets, especially when you go in with a carer. You sometimes they're not big enough. Sometimes you get in with a wheelchair and you struggle to both of you get in and the wheelchair, which sometimes I find ridiculous. If it's a disabled toilet, then surely you should facilitate, wheelchair and at least 2 people. It's not really rocket science. Like that, I just don't call it a disabled toilet. Anyway, I'm on the right mode there, aren't I? you know, even such things as like a mirror. The mirror usually is at normal head height. Well, what if you're sat in a wheelchair? And especially the women, you know, you just because you're disabled, you sat in a wheelchair, you still want to check the makeup. You can't, because it's, you know, unless you stand up. And usually if you're in a wheelchair, or, you know, at least I would say 75% of people in wheelchairs are not really able to stand up. I don't know why I'm going on, I'm just having a moan about this, so sorry about this. So yeah, right, I'm going to finish my walk before this rain comes down. It's getting a bit dark out here, look, you see, getting a bit iffy. So I think we might be getting a bit of a downpour. I'm going to go and have a drive around. I've got a couple of bungalows I want to just go and I've seen over the weekend. I'm going to go and have a drive past to see if they're suitable and what have you, and see whether it's worth making an appointment to go and view. Yeah, so that's me going to be done for today. Get off and I'll do another one for tomorrow. Same thing, please press your like button, follow me, press me follow me buttons, send me comments, forward these videos on as best you can. Let's get me information out there, please, as best we can, and I'll do another one tomorrow. So as usual, you take care now. Bye.